Greetings and salutations, everyone. Thought I'd do a little bit something different here, mostly because this game just came out recently. Also, managed to injure my legs. One leg I injured is because of the foot, which I somehow managed to injure. The other is the knee, because I've been putting more weight on one leg than the other, so it's been really fun. It's been great. But this little game is called Genshin Impact. This game got a little bit of flack earlier on in its life, because the demo they showed off pretty much looked like it had just copied straight from Breath of the Wild, which angered some gamers. Because, you know, it's a bad thing if a game copies Breath of the Wild mechanics and whatnot. Which, to be fair, there are some mechanics it does copy and all that. Like, you've got a glider thing, which at least is wings here. So that's a thing, and you can pretty much climb up anything you want. Those walls, climbable. It's what it is. And while you can cook stuff, it's more of you have to have the right ingredients in the cooking menu, and then it just becomes a cooking game itself. Once it's all done loading up here. It's a little bit slow sometimes when you're playing around in this game. But you can see, you got all the different recipes you could make, and then you just, if you have the ingredients, you can cook it. And then there's auto cooking, because I've cooked it so many times, which is not too bad. And then you just, bam, good to go there. I don't even think I have because you have to like cook ingredients several times to be proficient at it, that you can do mass cooking with the auto cook. And yes, you collect ingredients around that are just lying around in the world, sometimes from enemies and whatnot. But while those do share mechanics, ooh, the same. Ooh, yes, there we go, some enemies, perfect. So while it shows those mechanics of Breath of the Wild, it goes about differently about other ones. For instance, combat is more fluid. So there we go there. It's just more, it's more action oriented. I don't know, I might need to set fire to those things there, which I don't even think I know I have a fire tap. Yes, go little mimic doll. The other thing about this game, like as you can see, I can switch through different party members, and they do different things. They have their own different abilities and whatnot to work with. There's all sorts of tutorials you can see, combat knowledge. Every time I encounter something new, it'll tell me and whatnot, what's going on. But it plays, like if I had to say like what this game was more alike, it was definitely closer to being Skyrim than it is to being Breath of the Wild. You have main quests, there's side quests involved, you have these villages which are up and running compared to Breath of the Wild's villages, which are mostly empty and or destroyed. You know, that's just how it is in an apocalyptic world. But all in all though, like honestly, like this game's for free, and it actually like plays well. Even if mine is a little bit hiccupy from whatever the laptop's doing, it's still holding its own pretty well. And it is an internet-based game, kind of like what you would expect from an MMO, so the hiccups here and there are expected. You can play this on your smartphones. I don't recommend that if you plan on playing it on a console later on. Like, you can play this on the PS4, and there are plans to put it on the Switch eventually. Not sure specifically when. Do like some berries. There we go. And it's like the PS4 is pretty much you play it on the PS4 or you don't. Like there is no cross compatibility with the PS4. You can do co-op with other players. Hello, common treasure chest. Take all the items from you. This is actually not a bad find. But yeah, no, it's like credit's due. It's a beautiful world that you can get to go around and explore. No doubts about that. But I definitely wouldn't say this is a Breath of the Wild clone. It's got its own uniqueness to it. It's got you have the party system. They have, let me pull up the character screens here. You've got different weapons. They have not only their base stats, there's like passive stats depending on what you've got going on there. Can change to different characters. She's a ranger, so she uses a bow and arrow. She uses a great sword as a weapon. Like, come on, who wouldn't? I can have a spare artifact, apparently. Oh, I picked one up, that's right. But you can equip artifacts, which also will give you passive abilities, and if you collect a set, it'll give you better passive abilities, essentially. So there's a lot of equipping and whatnot that you can go through there. There's this constellation things to help further improve your combat capabilities and whatnot. There's your stats over there, showing you what's going on. They level up. The characters level up as you defeat monsters, complete quests. And from what I can tell, it applies to all the characters that you have in your party with you. So you don't have to individually select a character if you want to level them up. You can just take them with you, carry them around with you the whole time. Trying to think. Oh, the other thing is that you have a little helper named Paimon. And unlike most of the Zelda helpers that you get, like Navi and Midna, Paimon is A, adorable, and B, useful. So that gives her a way better edge over the Zelda companions you get. But you've got all this stuff here. There's lots of different stuff. The wish thing is like the gacha thing you see in a lot of like mobile type games, but you can get other characters this way. Interestingly enough, a lot of the stuff right now is part of the paid content, for what I can tell here. Even though you can earn the in-game currency, like I can't spend it currently yet. Might need it in the actual shop for that, but we'll see what they do later on with that. You don't have to. That's all completely optional. You can just play this game casually without spending a single dime on it. But yeah, no, honestly, there's no real reason to not give this game a shot if you like open world action RPG games. Even if you're not a fan of like the roulette, gambling, gacha for characters moments, like you don't really that's all optional. You can just ignore that section of the game, basically. The camp's up, back and running. That's good to know. See what they're doing. Here, I got the treasure chest that was here before. Might as well switch to my bow. You can charge attacks. Perfect. She can set fire to my enemies. Makes her useful. Switch to my main character, because now they're being decoyed. You've also got like magic attacks depending on which characters you have, and depending on certain things you can, you can see I've accidentally lit the grass on fire. Tiny details. There's boxes to kill, which is always a must. If I can't destroy a box in the game, what can you do? Come here, yes. You can, by the way, if keyboard, I'm playing with keyboard and mouse, but if that seems a little bit too difficult for you, there is, in the settings here, you can change the control type to controller. From my experience, it doesn't auto-detect that. You have to manually switch it to try it out. Interesting note with the controller setting is that it's more geared to the sort of like the Japanese style of the PS4 controller or the Switch setup, where the A button's on the right side of the button mapping, even if you're using the Xbox controller. So for everyone who uses Xbox controllers, you might need to get used to pressing the B button as the A button functions. So that's cute. But otherwise it's just a tiny wrinkle in the plan. I definitely prefer using the keyboard and mouse for this particular game, just because aiming is a little bit easier to use for that. Apparently can't switch when I'm in mid-charge. Tiny details. But yeah, no, it's a cute little game. Something just to have fun, and basically if you just, oh, those are level 10 characters. I don't want to mess with those. As you can see, down at the very bottom, my little health bar, there's a little level 5 next to that. And he's my best character currently, so we're going to leave those characters alone. No need to mess with them. But yeah, no, just feel free to give it a shot. I think you can only download it through the website. I don't think it's on Steam or whatnot, but if you just Google the title Genshin Impact, first one should be the website itself. And if you plan on doing cross-platforming later on with like your smartphones or with the Switch, highly recommend just making an account through the PC, through their website first, and just get the account up and running, and then do all the linking stuff later on, which I think you can do in settings. I can't remember here. Yeah, there's the account. You can go to user settings, and then this is where you do all the linking to your mobile phone, email, whatnot. Easy peasy. And then linked accounts here as well. I don't have anything linked up to it. Because of the Google accounts, you can link up to that way, but you have to link on the Android platform. And believe me, you don't want to create an account through your Google account on the smartphone and then try to link it up. It will not work. I've tried that before. You have to sign in with the account you make first here, and then link it up to the Google account. It's confusing, but I'm like, just work with the PC version, honestly. But yep, that's it for here. Just wanted to show this game off a little bit while my legs are recovering from their terrible ordeal of whatever I did to them. But until next time, hope you all enjoy your day, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.